When it comes to parenthood, one of the best tech lifesavers has got to be the baby monitor. They've come a long way over the years, giving parents a bit of peace of mind and the ability to keep an eye or an ear on their little ones without constantly hovering. Out of all the options out there, Arenti are known for baby monitors that really stand out, and this one right here, well, it's no exception. This is the Arenti 2.5K 5GHz Wi-Fi baby monitor, coming with 2 cameras. This is a dual camera monitoring system with a split screen display, decent Wi-Fi options, and a design that's actually really practical. Now, it's obviously aimed at parents, and it works great for that. But I'll be honest, I had to set it up with the pets for a while, and it was still surprisingly handy. The whole idea is pretty simple. It gives you eyes and ears in 2 places at once, simply without layering on loads of complicated features you'll never use. And with a decent asking price, well, it's certainly reassuring. So is this product truly worth that asking price? Well, let's first start by unboxing it. So unboxing it, you get the display unit, a couple of cameras, the power adapters, some cables, and the usual quick start guide. It's pretty straightforward, there's no piles of plastic or random extras, just the stuff you actually need. I will say the display unit's got a bit of weight to it, which I like. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. The display itself actually has a rather clear screen, buttons you can feel without looking, and a kickstand at the back so you can prop it up pretty much anywhere. The cameras are small, neat, and feel sturdy too. I like that they've got this matte finish, so no smudgy fingerprints, and once you set them up in a room, they really stand out and grab your attention. And you can tilt them to get the right angle, whether that's on a cot, a dog's bed, or even in a doorway. You can also wall mount the cameras if you want to, since they come with little mounting plates in the box. It really depends on how you want to use these, either if you want to mount them in the corner of a room, or simply mounting them to a piece of furniture. But that said, it's definitely not something you have to do. The cameras sit fine on a shelf or table. The wall mount option is just a nice little extra if you've got a spot where you just want them to stay put. Now, setup couldn't be any easier. You just plug the cameras in, switch the display on, and it basically just works already. If you want app control, you can download Arenti's app, tap through a couple of prompts, and you're pretty much good to go. You can pick direct Wi-Fi mode if you want it to work locally, or router mode if you want remote access when you're out and about. I love that flexibility. It is nice to be able to switch depending on what you're doing. And you will find when you're home, maybe using direct Wi-Fi mode to be a bit more reliable. If you're like me and you intend to use these for your animals, remote access is your best option. This will just allow you to be able to access the cameras when you're out and about within the app and see what's going on. I will say the app itself is super straightforward. You don't really have to be a tech whiz to figure it out. There's big buttons, clear menus, and the 2.5K video looks sharp on a phone screen. The app does let you tweak a bunch of settings, scan intervals, brightness, direct or router mode. Everything's obvious, there's not really any hidden menus. I've tried pushing it a bit, swapping cameras mid-session and leaving it running for hours, and it just kept going with no lag or drop feeds. The display controls are just as easy to use, and it remembers your settings so you're not constantly redoing things every time you power it on. Now, the big headline for me is the split screen HD display. You can watch both camera feeds at once with audio focused on one, or switch it into scan mode so the audio alternates every few seconds. That meant I could keep an eye on the cat upstairs and the dog in the kitchen without having to flick between them manually. Wi-Fi has been solid whether I'm on 2.4GHz or 5GHz. And the 2.5K video on the app is genuinely quite crisp. Battery life is impressive too, about 8 hours of constant use, closer to 12 in power saving mode, and it lasts days on standby. Two-way audio is another great feature. It certainly comes in handy if you need to use it with animals, because you can obviously communicate with them when you're not home to either tell them to stop doing something or reassure them. One feature I found surprisingly handy was the motion alert system. It's not instant every single time, but usually if the dog's up to something he shouldn't be, I get a ping within seconds from the motion detection. I could certainly see this being useful for babies too. If there's movement in the crib when they're supposed to be napping, or if they manage to roll in a different position, you can get that extra heads up without needing to be glued to the screen the whole time. It's not meant to replace checking in, but it does give that little bit of reassurance that you'll know if something changes. Now, obviously, this is made to be a baby monitor system, and that is its main selling point for sure. However, the fact the cameras can rotate 355 degrees and tilt 60 gives you tons of coverage. In most cases, one camera per room is more than enough. You don't feel like you need to cram in extras just to cover blind spots. For me, that's been great for keeping an eye on the whole space without constantly moving the camera around or worrying about what I'm missing off screen. For baby monitoring, you're going to be able to see everything. And when you pair that with the motion detection, well, you really aren't going to miss a thing. A little extra worth mentioning is the adjustable nightlight and the built-in lullabies. Each camera has a small light on the bottom that gives off just enough glow to work as a nightlight without being too bright. It's not amazing and definitely won't replace a proper one, but it's subtle enough to give a bit of reassurance. The ability to play lullabies is a nice touch too, because it adds another use for the camera when not actively watching the feed. Through the built-in speakers, you can choose from 10 different lullabies and even set a timer for them to turn off. All controlled through the app or the display. It's just another little feature that makes the system feel more versatile day to day, and I really like it. So for me, the Arenti 2.5K monitor set has ended up being a lot more flexible than I expected. Sure, it's sold as a baby monitor, but I've mostly used it to keep an eye on my pets, and it works just as well for that. It really depends on how you want to use it, and I can see it doubling as a little home security setup too, or even just a way to check in on family. It does all the basics really well. Clear video, easy to set up, decent battery life, and the app is very straightforward. Then you get the extras like split screen viewing, two-way talk, and dual band Wi-Fi, which just makes it more useful day to day. It does feel less like a single purpose gadget and more like something that can fit into whatever you need it for. I have been running it for a while now, and it's definitely earned its spot in my setup. What I like most is that it's simple enough not to be annoying, but still versatile enough that I don't feel boxed into using it one way. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. Whether it's for kids, pets, or just an extra bit of peace of mind at home, it does the job without making a fuss. And honestly, from a piece of tech like this, that's really all we can ask for. As always, be sure to check this product out in the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Till next time.